Good morning, everyone. This is David Blair, the Crosshairs Trader. Glad to have you with me on this post-election day. Not much going on in pre-market today, but let's take a look. For those that have been following, we follow the futures and the major indices to see where the strength or weakness may be, where there may be possible support and resistance areas, and what's going on to aid us in our decision making on trading individual stocks. Daily chart on the right, weekly chart on the left. All right, let's take a look at the S&P futures. We're right at the high of the year. We've been talking about it for 3 or 4 weeks now. And let's see what's going to happen here. What we need to watch, though, is the move we've had, the fact that we haven't had much of a rest. We've had a few days here and there, and you can see there's a lot of fighting going on in here with these wicks, up in the morning, down in the afternoon kind of thing, but we'll be watching that. We are getting very, very close to the highs of the year. NASDAQ, on the other hand, has just been on a tear. You can see that here. Maybe what will happen is the NASDAQ will hit its highs. The NASDAQ futures will hit its highs from back in October. Can you believe that? Recession? What recession? Back in October of 2008, October, November, when the down started, we're right back up. It maybe we're going to hit the highs on the NASDAQ at about the same time we hit the highs on the S&P futures. Could happen. Could happen. The S&P may hit this area, bring the NASDAQ down, or the NASDAQ may pull the S&P up through that resistance. Take a look at the Dow. The Dow is, again, right at that resistance. And when I say resistance, I don't mean resistance for a reversal necessarily. I just mean an area that we need to watch for potential stalling, as we've been getting, possible reversal, or simply a possible continuation of the previous trend. And of course that would be up right now. Okay. OEX is the S&P 100. It's still got plenty of room to run, about 20 points before it reaches its high of the year, which will also correspond with a major moving average from our weekly chart. Okay. So right now everything is bullish. We just have to be mindful of the fact that we are in a resistance area on some indices, such as the futures, and others we are at support areas and continue to go higher. Either way, I'm looking at very light positions or no positions, waiting on some things to set up. We just got out of a round of trades, and very profitable trades, and now waiting to see if anything is going to happen to give us another opportunity on the upside, and always mindful that the market could roll over. Okay, let's take a look at 7 stocks right quick that we could be able to trade here before long. Let's start with Apple. We've been talking about Apple for quite some time. Apple, if the market's going to go up till the end of the year, Apple's going to lead it up or follow along, whichever way you want to look at it. Setting up a very nice pattern, a nice move up, pull back for about a week, nice move up, now pull back. For us crosshairs traders, we consider our green line home most of the time, and that's what's going on here. It's come back home, had a nice bounce off of that home front at a support level, same kind of support level we had back here, and we talked about Apple some weeks ago going to 300 ahead of its earnings. It shot past that, had earnings, and now has come back off some weakness, and now we're watching to see how far it's going to go till the end of the year. Okay, so Apple. APH. Take a look at APH on the weekly. The only thing that concerns me is we do have some resistance up here at about another point. So that's one to watch. See if we can maintain some strength in here. But I am watching it on the daily as it breaks out here and giving us a possible signal that this one may be ready to make us some money. So we'll be watching that. Of course, I can't give any specific recommendations. I'm just showing you the stocks. Our green here is simply showing us this is a long-term bullish opportunity. We've got a crosshair here, and it's broken out. So several things are happening, except the one thing that I've got to watch is that weekly chart. ARM, same thing. We've got, let's call it support now as it's broken out. ARM, Arvin Meritor, and you can see that this is just a $17 stock as opposed to Apple that's $300, but a nice little breakout. Looks like it's trying to break that pattern of hitting resistance and rolling over. And the last time it hit that resistance, it didn't go down as far as it has done so in the past. It stalled, and now we've got some strength added to this. And again, be mindful when earnings are on all of these companies that I'm talking about. But you can see on the weekly that it's trying to break out of an area that has been resistance for quite some time, even goes back to the April through October of 08 time. And look at that, it's breaking out of this area. So that's one to watch, and that is ARM. If you're interested in specifics on these types of trades, you'll have to join us Crosshairs Traders, and if you're interested in that, please contact me at david@crosshairstrader.com. You know I got to throw that in here. BBD, foreign one, so you need to be mindful of when their earnings may be and the fact that it can be volatile. But take a look at BBD. It's had a nice pullback after a strong, steady run, and it broke out, gave us a breakout indicator right here. We are bullish according to our long-term outlook, and then we have another breakout happening here. So one to watch, BBD. Let's take a look at the weekly chart right quick. And you can see that it's broken out on the weekly chart as well, just above 2026. So one to watch. BBD, GTI, GraphTech. Take a look at it on the weekly. Look at this nice long consolidation that's been going on for a year and a half now. Nice, beautiful consolidation. And looks like it's trying to break out of this area. On the weekly chart, everything's lined up. Strength is starting to come in. And then we go to the daily, and we can see that we have a long-term bullish signal that goes back to May. We've had this area that it's been trying to break out of, and it just did so. So that's one to watch. GTI. HNT. Only thing I don't like about it is the weekly chart, but it does have some area to run till it hits a resistance, and it is trying to break out of an area that it's been in again for about a year, trying to break out of this area on the weekly chart, and you can see that clearly on the daily chart as it's trying to break out of this area and possibly form a support area as it goes up to 30. It's got some strength coming in on this breakout, so HNT is one to watch. And then finally, a financial stock, believe it or not, Legg Mason. Look at Legg Mason. It has done nothing absolutely nothing for quite some time. This is the weekly chart. We're watching it, seeing if it can break out here, and it looks like it's trying to do so right here on our daily chart. It has now turned bullish long term, breaking out. So we need to watch these areas. LM could be one to get in. All right. I appreciate your time here today. If you'd like to join me, please contact me at david@crosshairstrader.com. Would love to have you join us as we look at stocks at least twice a week in a live 1-hour webinar. I've got a Crosshairs University coming up. I'll be sending that information out shortly. But if you're interested in the meantime on the specifics or would like to join one of our private webinars, please ask. I'll be glad to send you an invitation to do so. David@crosshairstrader.com. In the meantime, enjoy today both in and outside the charts.